Hi, I'm Sharon. Welcome to Eternal Love of Drama. This is the show where we, two very uninformed drama enthusiasts, give our strong opinions about dramas that we've watched and some dramas that we haven't watched. We don't know famous people or any of the latest news on drama actors or anything like that, but we do enjoy watching them, especially since we've been trapped inside for several months now. So we like to kick off our episode with some arbitrary drama awards. So why don't you tell us what the arbitrary drama award of the week is?
So this week's arbitrary drama award goes to the general most likely to get their lunch money stolen. Wimpy generals. Um, Bullying is not okay. We are definitely anti-bullying, but it is really clear, like kind of like the archetype of a person who gets picked on because they look wimpy. And sometimes these people end up being actors who get these roles as fearsome, ruthless generals. And you're looking at them like, huh? So we have a number of these contenders because, uh, you know, if they didn't tell you in the drama that this person was a ruthless killing machine, you would not be able to tell. So tell us about some of these generals that you have seen in Dramaland.
Okay, I'll just add this, like how you made my list was if I thought I could steal your lunch money. So when I look at these dramas, I obviously they need to cast really pretty people, but it just seems like the really pretty people that they cast are also very delicate. And this general category spans both men and women because there are women generals in Dramaland as well.
And we are specifically talking about non like magical
Yes,
dramas,
yes.
right? Where the drama verse, the rules of the drama verse are that like war involves physical fighting and not magical powers.
So the first general whose lunch money I think I could definitely steal is Dong Yue from the 2020 Twisted Fate of Love. I only watched a few episodes of it, and granted, in the first episodes when she's fighting, she looks like she could be fighting. But then in the rest of all of the ones that I like sort of breeze through, she looks like she weighs 90 pounds max, and that I could like just kind of like definitely shake loose a few dollars for lunch. So she's my first candidate.
It's so interesting because they do have that like fight sequence and she's like all dirty and wearing all this armor, but then in the episodes that I have watched, which is about the same number as you, she's just like this frail tiny person who
Yep.
does not appear to have any physical prowess.
No, and she's not very smart either. So that's like, something that I think. So she's my first candidate. My second candidate goes to Ubai Chi in Blooms of Ruyi Pavillion. Now, I have to say, I fast forwarded through most of Blooms and I didn't really like it. But the one thing that I did like was Ubai Chi because he was like the one and only reason I would watch it because he's adorable. But honestly, if I was hungry, I could beat him up. And it wouldn't be very hard because he's so skinny and he's so frail that I really just think I could.
He's yes, like were we talking about the best B couple?
Mhm.
That love story between him and the sister and Ruyi Pavillion is very, very sweet, and he is very cute, and he does this very like uh manly like
Yes.
interrupting a wedding thing to like get his girl, and it's like not the right wedding. So spoiler alert. Okay,
So
what's
those
yours?
are my top two contenders. Tell me about what are your top two contenders?
So my top contender I've mentioned before because it's just laughable. Pei Zhao, who is like Chi Wang in Maiden Holmes, is just so skinny. And I just don't understand, other than it being like a drama trope, there needs to be some contrived reason why he needs to take his shirt off. Like, it's just like he is like a decorated war general that's like, just so skinny,
Yeah.
and they put all these like giant like fake scars on his back, which just doesn't make it look any more convincing. Similarly, I have not watched, and I'll be honest that I haven't watched any of this
Okay.
drama called the general's lady, but YouTube often recommends clips, and I've seen a few clips, and I caught my eye because there was a similar situation where he had a wound, and so they had to take his shirt off, and then they the same like fake scars, maybe the same fake scar artist did these fake scars on his back, and yet he is so like slight. And I was telling you earlier that I think that in some of these cases they probably cast these like teeny tiny actresses so that the men don't look so frail. But in that particular drama, the general's lady, I feel like she is like really tough. Like she's not like unfeminine or particularly butch, she just is the same size as him. So um I don't know. She looks like if she wanted to take his lunch money, she could. But yeah, those are my main contenders. And it's not as if the drama land universe does not have people that could convincingly convince an audience that they are an actual general, right?
Yes.
So we have some examples of those too.
Yeah, so people that could beat you up, definitely, who probably would not take your lunch money, but who could beat you up if they wanted to. In the female category, you know, like my favorite princess and my favorite general is Nihong from Nirvana and Fire, and
The
she
greatest
does
princess.
have several very tough scenes where she fights people, and she is on the list of top 10 fighters. I think that that franchise like took the fighting very seriously because you know you have Mengzi who is the commander of the Imperial Guards. He's a general and he looks like he could
Such
rough
a
you up.
badass.
Um,
Yes.
I mean, even like Jingwang, right? Like in the beginning, he rides in on his horse and he looks like he has been in the army. In Nirvana and Fire 2, actually, Xiaoping Zhang in the opening scenes is actually like about to like destroy you. So I feel like that's a franchise that takes like casting a general seriously.
Um, I was another one that I have not actually watched but seen many clips of on YouTube is one called Oh My General, where there's a woman who's a general and she's a total badass. She fights with this long spear thing. She fights with this like crazy ass whip thing. She's like totally badass. And of course, like from the clips that I've seen, they try to like tell her she needs to be more ladylike or whatever. But like
Oh,
she
yeah.
is like the tough one in that relationship and she is so cool. um and also shout out to one of my favorite generals. So dumb, I know, but I love this guy. He is the General Shueyao in Sleepless Princess. This guy, I like many things about him. Mostly, my favorite thing about him is his voice is wonderful, but also he like flies, he catches people from the second story of a building. Like he looks like he could be a general.
I don't know. I mean, this is one of the most interesting differences between like the cultural standards of like you know, beauty slash, you know, whatever being a general is. Because in most American cinema, it's like a general looks like, you know, Dwayne Johnson. And you take off his shirt so that you can see like six pack, right? And like these guys, you take off, like to your point about taking off their shirts to like tend a wound. I mean, they're so skinny. I'm like, why did you take off his shirt? Leave it on.
Well, but also like there, I think in the US in 2020, there are generals like Hollywood generals like Dwayne Johnson, but then there's like real generals that are like old dudes
Yeah.
that like, you know, but like warfare is different. Warfare back then in necessitated hand-to-hand combat, and the generals were on the battlefield with their on a horse maybe and not like on the front line, but they were out there. And like the reality is a lot of these people that we have seen in these dramas like do not look like they would have even made it to the battle lines.
So do you have a specific, do you have a winner or do you want to just say those are the
It's a
candidates?
watch for me. Those are all those candidates are pretty.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
yeah.
Okay. So this we're going to review. This isn't really a review video. We're going to talk about The Wolf, and neither of us have finished The Wolf. And so the question on the table for me is like, should I watch the rest of it? Because I can't decide. And so for everyone in the universe who doesn't know about this, which I don't know how you wouldn't. The Wolf is a drama that people have been eagerly awaiting for about 2 or 3 years. And it was made, I guess, in late 2017, before Xiaozhan was super famous. But then, of course, whatever machinations of the Chinese whatever board, censorship board, happened, and it didn't get released, and Xiaozhan got famous. And so now people want to watch a movie with him in it. And essentially, it's a drama about a girl, Ma Zaixing, and her friend from youth, who literally was raised by wolves. And then stuff happens to him, and he becomes the third prince of the kingdom in which they live. And so the two of them have relationship drama. There's some political strife, and then all of a sudden, there's a character named Jichong who is Xiaozhan, who appears in their lives as the third person in their relationship, and I guess they have adventures slash there's intrigue. So that's generally it. It's 49 episodes. I guess they dropped all at once suddenly a few weeks ago, and we've both been watching it. I've gotten to episode 20.
And I have finished episode 20, and I will say that I am definitely going to finish this because I think I like it more than you, but we will talk about what we like and don't like about it.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me a few things that you have liked about it so far.
So I think that it's inconsistently, but I think that there is a strong female lead.
Okay.
I think that she has moments where she is like less than what we would hope for, but I think that generally she is a smart and pretty and capable, strong female lead. So I like that. Let's see, what else do I like about it? I mean, okay, we're going to talk probably more about this, but like the character played by Darren Wong, the wolf, the wolf boy, Wong, raised by wolves. Like, okay, so much of his behavior is like total toxic masculinity.
Yes.
But also, he's like pretty hot.
Okay, so let's talk about Darren for just 1 minute. I think that, part of why I thought it was fun that we did the lunch money award is because he's like the opposite of that. So he is a person that I think they did a really good job casting into that role. Because if that guy from Maiden Holmes was cast into this role, I would have like died laughing and made it to like half of episode 1 because it would have been completely not believable. But he has a tan, he has muscles, and he really does look like he could pound you into the ground
when he's angry, but sometimes he's gentle and loyal.
So well cast. That role is well cast.
I think the acting is good.
Okay.
And I think that here's the thing. I want to know what happens to them, and that is not the case. Like, because how many dramas have we dropped because we just don't care, right? First of all, many dramas that we've watched have there's no actual tension because like what's going to happen. It's all already a foregone conclusion, right? And like you were saying that you wanted an actual love triangle, and here you go, right?
Yeah.
I think that there is like actual like uncertainty about how this is all going to unfold. So I think that the story is interesting and it makes me want to know what's going to happen.
Okay. So I also, and so that's true. The story did start off really good. It was very compelling because there was tension. I think that where I usually drop a drama is like around like episode like 6 or 7 or 8. And I've obviously made it to episode 20, but I do feel like it still suffers from some of the like lazy storytelling that a lot of Chinese dramas have, right? Because it's almost as though they do such a great job of setting it up, but once you settle into a pattern of expected behavior, you do actually follow it. So there is no more tension about the relationship. We just give him a pass. and expect that that is normally how they will interact with each other. And I think that's a little lazy. But anyway, it does start off really well. I think the production quality is generally very good. And I think she's, I think she starts off clever and she does have clever moments, but I still think that, I mean, and this is one of the things that I didn't like about her, is that she can't move on, and or she can't figure out how to move on, or if she wants to. And I think that that's like a little destructive for her personality wise. And she often, I think that she is often, because of that, a little helpless and needlessly so. So yeah.
But I think that that is a values conflict that you are
Okay.
having with them,
Okay.
because I think that she was not raised by wolves, but she very much is like pro wolf, right? And like
Yes.
they are, the thing that they are selling in their drama verse of like what is amazing about wolves is their loyalty, right? Because
Okay.
that's what um the emperor is always like looking at this guy going like, oh, you are really 重情重义, right? Like you are really loyal, you do like, you know,
Yeah.
follow through on your relationships. And like, and I think that that is something that she also, that's a value that they share.
Uh-huh.
uh, and so all of the like helplessness and like not moving, the clinging and not moving on as a result of her like initial like loving this childhood friend of hers who was Wolfie, um, all of that to them is a virtue, right? It's
Okay.
they're like living to their highest virtue, which is loyalty and sticking by the ones that you love.
Okay. I guess that's fine. Um, I I just think that, so this is also,
I'm
let's
not
move.
saying it's a good way to behave. I'm
No, no.
just saying like,
Yeah.
you know, like they see that as like there's like the other side of that where that is seen as a virtue and not as a flaw.
Okay. I think I can take that point. I do think though that one of the things that I very strongly dislike about this is the relationship that she has, like grown up Ma Zixing has with Bo Wang. I think it's a very dysfunctional relationship. And it has some of the characteristics of Chinese drama tropes that I don't like, which is that like the couple doesn't communicate with each other because they feel like they better do it first for the other person, before like consulting. Where, I consider the stronger relationship where you say like, hey, this like crappy thing is about to happen to both of us, or like this really tough like life situation is happening, can we like talk about a joint strategy? Neither of them do that at all.
In a situation where they're both smart and
Yes.
capable, like why wouldn't you talk to, and like if one of the things that you like about this person is that they are capable and like share your values, like why wouldn't you come up with a joint strategy? Like it doesn't make any sense. It's just like it's love in between all over again, right?
Minus
So
the
far
stabbing.
nobody's stabbed or poisoned anyone so far, but like I think like she did it to him first,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
then he paid her back tenfold, right? Like
Yes.
repeatedly.
Okay.
And in the
Yes.
beginning, there was like the misunderstanding from failure to communicate. But then like then it's like they just keep intentionally, you know, just like not communicating with each other and trying to like for their own good go behind your partner's back and like make all these plans that end up hurting them initially, you know, like I don't know, it's not a
Yes.
good way, it's not a good
So
relationship.
and I don't know if this is you're gonna say this is a values thing, but I think that the way that Bo Wang treats her is abusive. I think that
Yeah,
he definitely pays her back, but I don't think that we should normalize like physical or
no,
emotional abuse like this.
no,
And like
I don't think
I
it's okay.
I think that like people on the internet are like, oh, he's a complicated person and like he's sad when he has to do this. I think that that's just a bunch of BS. Like
Don't do
if you,
it.
yes. I mean, this is my number one communication thing with them, is that like his people, he's part of this weird like secret like society of assassins, and they murder her family. Now he didn't take part in that, but that was his people, and that's a big secret because now she's a pawn of the emperor, and she's everyone's pawn at this point. And he is trying to protect her by distancing himself in the relationship. Like the
He doesn't
marriage,
actually, that's
they're
the
engaged.
only, he
Yeah.
doesn't have any agency either, right? So like he is also a pawn of the emperor. And so like what is the harm in like talking
Just
about it and
talking
coming
about
up
it
with a solution together? Like,
and being like, hey, you solved some really sticky situations. Like when you were younger, you solved a murder. And like later on,
how
you
about the
solved
two
many.
times you fucking saved my life?
Yeah. Um, and like, why can't we just put our heads together and figure out how we can both extricate ourselves from the situation instead of being like, I know best, and I'm just going to be like very like emotionally damaging to you, make you cry like every episode. So this is like to your point about the YouTube clips of dramas we're never going to watch. I watched like several of the like clips of like Xiao, what is that drama with the like
I
fake,
don't know. Shell tour.
yeah, because like our friend from Ancient Detective was in it and he was cute. So like I'll randomly watch clips. I never want to watch a clip of the wolf when it comes up because I don't want to see her getting yelled at again, or like why do I want to watch her like cry? So nothing in about the relationship makes me root for it.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I'm
Yeah.
conflicted because I'm not like solidly in that camp. And it's because I think that this drama, like one of the one of the things that this drama does well that so many dramas do not is they spend time developing the characters. Like they set up the background for you, and
Okay.
so they give you this very very sweet beginning to their relationship. And I think that they give you enough that you are nostalgic for those two people, the Xing'er and Lang Zai, not the
Yeah.
Bo Wang and Ma Zai Xing, right? So like you are rooting for, when you're rooting for them, you're rooting for those people, for that couple. And like this is the thing, like she's rooting for that couple, right? So I tend to identify with the female lead. So I am like, not because I think I'm like her or whatever, just because she's the female, but
Yeah.
like um but like I'm rooting for them because she's rooting for them, right? And so
Uh-huh.
like so I'm still on board with like wanting her to be happy. And like, and do I think that that is the solution to her being happy? I don't know. Like in my 2020 brain, like if they just sat down and had a conversation and talked about their shared goals and shared information, and they could get past like the things that like come clean about the things that they've done to each other,
Yeah.
mostly been doing to her, and she could decide whether she's like okay forgiving and moving forward, then I do see a path forward for them. But I realize that they have no access to this kind of thinking or therapy or whatever it would take for them to get there. But I don't know, like they did a good enough job in the beginning with these characters that I am rooting for the characters. Like whether I'm rooting for the relationship is not the same as that, but I'm rooting for her to find happiness, to like be able to figure out the real culprit behind her family massacre and to avenge them. I'm rooting for him to be able to return to his like pre-emperor brainwashing, like beautiful soul of a wolf person. Um, and of course, I'm rooting for Xiao Zhan because we love Xiao Zhan. So, you know,
He's
uh,
the only one. So this is why, like, I have. So I know I'm supposed to be rooting for Xinger and Lang Zai, but I can't. They're not the same people that they are when they're adults,
yeah,
because they have some stuff that they would need to work through. To your point,
yeah.
but you know,
In my
until
world, couples therapy exists.
right, even yes, just log on and get some time, right?
Oh yeah, there's
So
apps for that.
yes,
Someone hand him an iPhone.
but the only person that is like kind to her, although he did use her the first time they met,
He's
but
also
then he
a
got,
contract murderer.
he is but you know, that's no different than, you know, the Boang character, except the difference is that he's actually kind to her. And I don't understand why in Chinese drama land we can't cheer for the character that's going to be actually like the one that will care for the female lead.
So let's talk about Xiao Zhan.
Yes.
And also, I think that this is like the reason to keep watching because he didn't appear. We're on 20. He didn't appear until 11, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
clearly a lot more is going to happen with this character.
Yeah.
And clearly it's an interesting character.
It is.
I will say that like the first thing that I thought of when he appeared and I like got to know his character was Omar Little in The Wire, because Omar Little is a gangster on the streets of Baltimore with his own moral code. And he may be a gangster, he may rob people or like sell drugs or whatever, but he has his very strict moral code that he sticks to, right? And I thought that like, oh, could this Ji Tong character be like an Omar Little?
Yeah.
But I will say that I do not have faith that Chinese drama land could give you a character that complex. And I think that ultimately he's going to disappoint me with the type of character he is, especially since he's clearly been like willing to like play both sides. Like he's willing to like do things for her because he does, you're right, that he does clearly care for her. But like, does he have like his own strong moral compass? That I do not know. And that I think is why they want you to root for Wolfie, because they want you to believe that there is still that like innocent, pure, like youthful Wolfie inside him, right? Like that's the whole setup. But
yes, I guess so. But you know, there's also a thing to read for in their relationship where she, like, because he's kind to her, she's able to be like very open with him about how she feels and like why she's sad, and he listens and he cares for her. And I think why would you?
He shares nothing with her.
He shared one little thing. But you know, maybe he shares more with her later. I don't know, but I feel like you're right. That probably is the only reason why I would watch more of this, is because I am very intrigued by his character, not only because of his character, but because I think Xiaozhan is very talented, and he has a really interesting costume. I think he's wearing ripped jeans and boots. Like, it's very odd to me.
The clothing is like,
yeah, can we make fun of the costumes for a minute? The court costumes are like 1970s sci-fi.
And like when Wolfie appears,
yeah,
he's wearing just so much clothing, which like, this is not me being like creepy Darren Wong is hot, so let's see like more skin. But like, where does a person that is raised by wolves and interacts solely with wolves for most of his life to this point, where does he acquire that much textiles?
Probably from her, if they've been sharing like
so when she met him he was naked.
I listen, I don't, you're right, I don't know the answer
too much clothing. Yes, so the clothing is whack.
But like, it's not his Wolfie clothing that I have a problem with. It's that he has like shiny intergalactic space outfits.
I kind of like the intergalactic space outfits, but like, it's not like, yeah. I like it.
Okay.
It is weird and not period appropriate, but I like it. However, it is, her clothing is very plain. Her clothing is like really disappointing.
I like her outfits actually, because I don't like, she's had several outfits that I thought were really nice. So when she was running the town and she was like batting off her suitor, she was wearing that like teal or green or blue outfit, whatever that was. And it was structured and it made her seem like very mature and poised and intelligent. And then I also like her like red travel outfit. I don't like her weird purple robes. Those are weird and bad.
But she wears that a lot, and then she wears the red travel outfit, and I don't like the red travel outfit, so it actually reminds me. So here's the thing. The white outfit that she wears a lot, like the outfit she wore in Joy of Life. The red travel outfit looks like the Chong Huo Gong uniforms that they wore in The Winter is Love. So I feel like she's secondhand clothes. And like, meanwhile, and I guess this is like a peacock thing, right? Because they are the men that are like vying for her love, right? So they are the ones that have to like, and there's actually a scene where he's like, should I wear this one or should I wear that one?
Yeah.
sparkly silver one or the sparkly silver and gold one, right? So like it does sort of set up this like, are they like preening to impress her? But like at the same time, like, yeah, you're right, that teal outfit was good, but like for the most part, she's wearing like what I am like, did they just like pick up some costumes from, although this was made probably maybe before these other things.
Yeah.
It just feels like she like um got her wardrobe from the like ancient costume drama Goodwill or something.
Well, it now that you mentioned, so I didn't watch more than one episode of And the Winter's Love, so I don't have a recollection of that, but it does remind me of the dress that Wenqing sometimes wore in The Untamed, because it was also red.
Maybe Shelton took that from the Untamed and like
No, this was filmed before The Untamed.
and lent it to her. Yeah. The costumes are weird.
They're so bad. Okay, but you like them. I just think they're terrible. And okay, this is the other thing that I think has been absolutely ridiculous is how many times can you jump off a cliff? Like I know we made fun of cliff diving last time already, but come on.
Well, when you were raised by wolves, unlimited number of times.
Just no. Just no.
It's a new twist on like at least they offer, unlike most of the cliff
yes.
jumping falling scenarios in all the other dramas, they offer a flimsy, but they offer an explanation for why they survived this because of his wolf-like training and instinct.
Okay, sure, whatever. It just happens so much. And I'm like, that's like your quota for like a drama.
Yeah, it is like there is a thing of too much.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So here are I know that you are like on the fence about continuing to watch, but
yeah.
I am definitely going to finish it. I like it. I see all the flaws that you're talking about. Totally toxic relationship. However, I think that my pitch to you is that, first of all, we haven't seen enough of Shelton, so you have to watch more. Does it mean you have to finish? I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out. I think that this is an interesting enough story, even though there are shortcuts and laziness. You're right. But it does like offer enough that I want to, they have done enough for me to want to know what happens. And on a deeper level than what I do sometimes, which is like wait for the end and watch the last episode. But I think that it is production wise, like acting and talent wise, I think that it is nowhere near Untamed, Nirvana, and Fire level, but significantly above many of the crap dramas that we've been watching. So I think that they deserve some more episodes out of you. That is my pitch to you.
I mean, that is so you have picked up on the one reason that I would continue watching is because I have not seen
nothing else to watch. What the hell else do you have to do?
That's true. And I haven't seen enough of Xiao Zhan because we're never going to get another drama out of like the drama-verse from him, it seems. So I guess so. Yeah, I might wait until they're all out on YouTube because I actually prefer watching on YouTube than on some of the other websites.
Most of the other websites have ads, except Drama Cool. So, yeah. Well, so this is, I think, going to be a split decision for us because I think in the end I will like it. Although I'm not sure. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay. I'm like already, the reason we took a break for a different reason because I take breaks from stuff when I know it's going to like hurt me.
Okay.
I'm like avoiding, I am putting off the hurt because they spent enough time building up like my like expectation that I'm going to root for this couple that I know that this is going to break my heart. And I think it is a positive for this drama that I care enough that it would hurt me. but they did a good enough job that I'm invested emotionally. But then also, like, I tend to like take a long break when I know something bad's gonna happen, and um, so I feel like this drama is gonna hurt me.
Okay. And you're right, we're on break for very different reasons. And I will wait until all of the episodes are on YouTube and watch them in higher like picture quality than on Drama Cool, and have the ability to fast forward differently, I guess.
Well, like,
And
as
also, there's nothing else on
trust, there's nothing else to watch.
I mean, that's yes, that's correct. That is correct. There is
We'll
nothing
do an
else.
episode on all the things we're not watching and why.
That's true. We did watch a lot of episodes of TV where we said we would watch the last episode, but then I've just forgotten about them
But
because
like, yeah, you
they're
know.
just there. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Don't be super mad and like do an internet takedown on us because I hated on like, a character or whatever happens in Chinese drama land.
None of these people are real.
Yes. And it's just a TV show, and you're supposed to be able to make fun of these things.
Yes. So thanks for watching Eternal Love of Drama. See you next time.
Bye.